Welcome to ketomealsandrecipes.com. I'm going to demonstrate a technique that was pointed out to me and it has been made popular on TikTok. I like this technique because it's actually quite quick and especially easy to make a wonderful breakfast and is a great introduction to cooking for beginners. I'm making this video to primarily demonstrate the technique because this folded tortilla method works well when making my crispy folded tortilla wrap breakfast sandwich, as shown on TikTok. My family and I have found that this is an excellent and novel way to enjoy bacon, eggs, cheddar, and an avocado spread. As I said, this is more of a technique demonstration than a specific recipe. In this video, I will show you how to make an absolutely perfect soft omelet. So keep watching. Although I'm demonstrating these ingredients, I want you to know that you can make the folded tortilla wrap breakfast sandwich with any ingredients you like, not just the omelet. And also this method works really well if you're putting together a quick lunch, and you can even use this folded tortilla wrap method to make a dessert. I would encourage you to make your own combination of ingredients for the crispy wrap, but one thing I would like to ask is if you could leave me a comment and share your ideas so we can all get some inspiration from each other. And if you like this breakfast idea, please check out the end links, which I have chosen to complement this video. Before getting started, I just want to mention another great thing about this TikTok crispy wrap is that you can make just one or two at a time as needed, and you don't have to make a large batch of anything ahead of time. In this video, I will show you two different versions of basically the same folded tortilla keto breakfast. The macronutrient ratio for this folded tortilla wrap breakfast version 1 is 4.1 to 1 with 8.8 grams of total carbs, 4.1 grams of dietary fiber, resulting in 4.7 grams of net carbs per folded wrap. And with these same basic ingredients, you can change the taste by changing the combination or adding a few different spices or things, so that you don't have to have the exact same breakfast day after day. To make this folded wrap, you will need some pre-made tortillas. I have already posted several different tortilla wrap recipe videos, and all of the links will be provided in the description below, as well as a written recipe for this video. And for today's tortilla, I'm using the dough from my pita two-way recipe, which I rolled out into a very flat tortilla instead of a pita. Here are the ingredients I'm going to use to make my version 1. The first thing you have to do is to make the soft omelet, and begin by cracking the eggs into a bowl, add the salt and the pepper, and whisk to thoroughly combine the yolk and the whites. Then heat a non-stick frying pan over medium-low heat, add the unsalted butter, and when the butter has melted and is sizzling, pour in your whisked egg mixture. Now let everything cook for a moment until you see that an egg pancake is starting to form like this. It's not really a pancake, but I thought this was the best way to describe it since it looks like one. Now use your spatula to break the solid portion of the omelet so that the liquid can seep through and cook as well. And then keep breaking up the solid part and repeating until all the liquid egg mixture has finished cooking. It should take only about 2 to 3 minutes for the eggs to form soft pillows. Then flip once or twice, but don't overcook because the omelet will get more heat and cooking time a little later. When the omelet is done, remove it from the pan and place on a plate. This will cool the omelet and prevent it from overcooking, because overcooking would make the omelet very rubbery. Then cut this large omelet in the center to divide into 2 equal parts and set it aside for a moment. Now, place the tortilla on your plate or cutting board and cut a straight line from the perimeter up to the center. Just one cut will do. For my avocado, all I did was take a ripe avocado half and mash it with a fork. Then, on the quarter closest to the left of the cut, spread the thin layer of your mashed avocado, or alternatively, you could just cut the avocado into thin wedges. Or if you're feeling a little more adventurous, you could use my nutty avocado spread or my authentic guacamole. Links to these 2 videos will be posted in the description below. For the quarter of the tortilla directly above the avocado layer, distribute the bacon which you cut into bite-sized pieces in a nice even layer. Next, and to the right of the bacon, place 1/2 of the scrambled omelet the one you prepared earlier, and distribute it so that it makes a nice triangle. In this last quarter, as an optional ingredient, and to give it a bit more flavor, I first spread 1/4 teaspoon of my Frank's Red Hot sauce directly onto the tortilla, and then I distribute the sharp cheddar on top of the sauce. If you don't like the sauce, just omit it. You do not need to use the hot sauce. I just like the added flavor. And here's what your tortilla looks like with all 4 ingredients in place. To fold, begin by taking hold of the first layer, the one with the avocado, fold over, and lay directly on top of the bacon quarter. Next, if you like, again, an optional step, brush the top of the folded tortilla with the remaining 1/4 teaspoon of Frank's hot sauce. Get a good hold of the portions you've just put together, and then fold these 2 quarters over the omelette layer. When you're doing this, try to make the folds in such a way that the layers are directly on top of each other and you're making nice even triangles. If things look too lumpy, just gently press down with your fingers. And lastly, now that you have the first 3 layers, one last fold is needed, the one that will go over the cheese. And voila! You have made this nice triangular shaped tortilla. And the very last thing you have to do to make the hot and crispy exterior to this crunch wrap, preheat a dry, non-stick frying pan over medium-low heat. You do not need to add oil or butter. You're just going to use the dry fry method for best results. When your non-stick frying pan is hot, place the folded tortilla triangle into the center of the frying pan, placing the cheese side down. You want the cheese to melt first. Fry until the tortilla is crispy and lightly golden and you notice the cheese is starting to melt. That should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Using a wide spatula and, if needed, guide with your hand, carefully flip things over. Fry the uncooked side until it too is lightly golden. The second side should only take about 2 minutes. Now it's time to remove the crispy folded triangular tortilla from the frying pan. And I like to serve it with some vegetable sides such as leafy lettuce and a fresh slice of tomato or 2. You'll find this to be a very filling and hearty breakfast or brunch. And with the extra ingredients you can make a second tortilla. Now for version 2. In this example I'm making a single serving. The macronutrient ratio for version 2 is 4.4 to 1 with 6.5 grams of total carbs, 2.4 grams of dietary fiber, resulting in 4.1 grams of net carbs per complete breakfast crunch tortilla. You'll notice the main differences for this version are: first, instead of an omelette, prepare a fried egg, either sunny side up or however way you prefer your fried egg. Then, when done, remove the egg and set it aside for a moment. The second difference is that this time I'm replacing the mashed avocados with a few fresh lettuce leaves. And here's version 2. Now just fold everything together as we did earlier and then pan fry as we did the first version. I hope that this demonstration has been useful to you, and I hope that you've been inspired to make a nice healthy breakfast. Enjoy! Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Please come back and join me when I post my next video. And if you're new to my channel or have not done so already, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell to all, like, and leave a comment. Until next time, stay well. Cheers!